Hello everyone, you are welcome to ICT class. Today our topic is parts of computer. Parts of computer. Now let's look at what we have for today. 1. We are going to state parts of computer. 2. We are going to define system unit. And 3. Mention internal parts of system unit. And 4. Define peripherals. And 5. State types of peripherals. Now let's quickly look at the first learning objective. The computer system, as you can see, is made up of two main parts. They are the system unit and the peripherals. The system unit and the peripherals. Now I would like us to look at this picture so that you understand what we are talking about. As you can see on the board, these are parts of computer that are divided into two major parts. The first part is the system unit that you see that stand alone, while the second side, which is the right hand side, is the peripherals. So when you see other component parts of the computer connected to the system unit, they are called peripherals because they are not part of the system unit. Now, what do we mean by system unit? The system unit is a box-like casing used to process data, and other parts of the computer are connected to the system unit. That is, when you see a computer system, especially desktop computer system, it has the system unit and other parts connected to it. That is why you see it in the picture on the screen now, that system unit is separate while other parts of the computer that we call peripherals are separate. So friends, let's take the definition of system unit again. The system unit is a box-like casing used to process data, and other parts of the computer are connected to the system unit. Now I would like us to look at internal parts of the system unit. That is, the parts that are inside the system unit. 1. Central processing unit, CPU. Then we have 2. CPU fan. We have 3. RAM. We have 4. Motherboard. We have 5. Hard disk drive. Then we have 6. DVD drive. Then 7. Memory unit. And 8. Power pack. So these are the major 8 internal parts of the system unit. Now let's look at this picture. As you can see, the picture in the middle is the system unit, and all the internal parts that we mentioned are the one that you see around the picture. So when you see a system unit, a complete system unit must have all these internal parts. If not, it will not work. So friends, let's look at the next parts of the computer. Remember, I said we have two major parts of computer: the system unit and the peripheral. So we are on peripheral now. Now, what do we mean by peripherals? Peripherals are external devices that are attached to the system unit of the computer. Let me take that again. Peripherals are external devices that are attached to the system unit of the computer. Now, let's look at the types of peripheral with examples. There are 3 major types of peripherals, and we are going to look at the example as we mention them. The first one, input devices. input devices, the devices that we use to send data into the computer. And examples are keyboard, mouse, scanner. We have more than that, but these are the major common types or examples. So the keyboard, the mouse, and the scanner. And the second one is output devices. And under the output devices, we have some examples. Output devices are devices that shows our work, that display our work. Like for example, when we use our input device like keyboard or mouse to type or draw, we are seeing what we are doing on the screen through an output device called monitor. So let's look at the examples of output devices. We have 1 monitor, we have 2 printer, and we have 3 speaker. Now let's look at the third one, storage device. When you hear storage, it means it stores something. So the devices that we use to save our work are called storage devices. So let's look at the examples. We have 1 external hard disk, 2 flash drive, and 3 memory card. So let's look at the picture. We have 3 input, output, and storage. And under the 3 types of peripheral, we now have examples. So let's look at the inputs. These are input devices. We have keyboard, mouse, trackball, scanner, digital camera, graphic pad, webcam, joystick, microphone. They are all called input devices. Now let's look at output devices, the devices that help us to display our work. So these are output devices: the speaker, the monitor, the plotter, the projector, the printer, and the headphone. These are output devices. Now what about the devices that we use to save our work, that we call storage devices? So let's look at the picture. As you can see on the board, we have the hard disk, the RAM, the ROM, the CD and DVD, the floppy, the memory card, the pen drive, and the tape. So these are the peripherals. Now, one thing to go home with is that when you see the computer system, it is always divided into 2 major parts, and the parts are the system unit and the peripherals. And other parts of the computer that are called peripherals are connected to the system unit. Thank you.